not talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. You hear me?
I'm not talking unless y'all giving me likes, commenting, and subscribing. You hear me? Hey, B. Listen, I'm here to talk about Shamea. A whole lot of Shamea in this thing because Shamea of Real Housewives of Atlanta is indeed on a press tour. And when I tell y'all she has so much to say, she has things to say about Miss Porsha and that friendship. She has some things to say about Phaedra, Miss Drew, as well as that Brittany Eady. And we are definitely going to be getting into it. But before we get into Shamea. Yeah, I'm saying it like that because we used to say Porsha. Girl, it's giving Shamea at this particular moment. All right. So, we're gonna get into Shamea, but before we do, speaking of Porsha, earlier this week there was a situation where Peter Thomas, Real Housewives of Atlanta, he made a post of some sort about Miss Porsha Williams and her being over on The View or whatnot, and they're saying that it was AI. It was some type of AI post that was put up about Porsha Williams, and Porsha did have some clapback for that. And of course, Peter came back to like clear up anything. But for the people that did not hear that clip regarding Porsha, listen to this clip.
Women out there in America, if you are leaving a marriage, first of all, I applaud you for making a decision for you and doing what's right for you. It's hard to pick yourself when you become one with somebody because you're one. And then all of a sudden, when things are bad, you have to just choose you. So I went into a business that I was passionate about, which is decor and hair, and I'm acting now, so.
Well, Porsha, after listening to all of that,
This is an AI person now that's coming into the table over at The View.
See why you had 2 failed marriages. We should encourage women not to leave a marriage. Of course, there are exceptions like abuse and other things, but when you say to women out there, I applaud you for making decisions for you and doing what's right for you, it's not all about you. You make decisions that's good for the outcome of your children, which is to grow up with something called a father in the household. I mean, a study after study shows that kids with both parents do better with grades.
I think that's bullshit. But aside from that, okay, that was the post that was made over there with a caption saying, yo, when does it get better for Miss Porsha W? And they didn't even spell Porsha's name right. But then goes on to say she can't get a break. She needs a better PR person. Okay. So that's what was put over there on social media. So Porsha added him and said, at Peter Thomas, you have more to worry about than my national press tour. Clank, clank. Okay. Always trying to reach out in private and public bashing me. All right. So that's what she said. And she also posted like a DM of him hitting her up saying, hey, Porsha, you know what I'm saying? You look great. Happy for you, whatever. Okay. So that's what was said.
But women out there.
Well, Peter did take some time to sit down. And this is what Peter had to say over here on the Jasmine brand. Okay. Let us get it to Peter.
Public announcement. I don't know what AI is. I'm just learning today, to be honest with you. When I saw The View piece with the guy in it, I thought that was actually a guest on the show. I was a little bit confused when you throw Whoopi under the bus and see this is why Whoopi is miserable. But before that, I actually thought it was a guest. I'm not up on social media the way you guys would think I am. And nobody actually posts on me. All the posts, everything that you see that come from my page, there's around 20 Peter Thomas page out there with my face on it. And 19 of them are not me, just one, okay? With saying that, yes, I did make a comment when the AI, now I know it's an AI, went in on Porsha because of the comment that she made. Because I believe in the family value part.
I know you're not talking about you believe in the family value part. Were you a part of your, like, what's up with your family value? What? Is it okay? No, you didn't. No, you did not. I believe in the family value part. Peter, stop, okay? So it appears that the post that was made by Peter. He did not alter the video. He thought that it was an actual person up there, but he did leave the caption saying, when does it get better for her? And it's like, yeah, Porsha should have drugged you just a little bit because Why is it? And I feel like a lot of people may do that. They may be in your DMs, all supportive, whatever the case is, happy for you, yada, 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 but then be in public bashing and shit. Like, yeah, that's not cool. That's not nice. So it is giving clank. Let's finish up with his statement.
I don't believe people should get married and 2 years later get a divorce. You have to do some research on who you're going to say I do to, because when you say I do, you actually taking the oath to not only to the person in front of you, but to God. You know what I'm saying? So when you take that oath, you got to try to live up to it a little bit. You know?
Yeah, I know you did add that part. Try to live up to it a little bit, because you know you didn't live up to it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I hear y'all when you feel like, oh, you know, you gotta, whatever it is, okay, whatever he's talking about for the people that may agree with him. If SHI just ain't working out, it just ain't working out. Okay? They say the biggest things when it comes to divorces is either, you know, finances or is cheating. Right? So, I mean, this was a financial situation, and Porsha was like, you're not going to drag me down in there. And you got citizenship issues. Like, I'm not trying to be tied to that shit you got going on and any illegal stuff that you got going on. I don't fault Porsha for wanting to get a divorce from that man at all. I more so faulted Porsha on how she got in that relationship and did move forward to marry him. To be in a relationship was one thing. Then to hurry up and get engaged to him and then actually marry him, all of our antennas was up. Even Shamea's husband tried to alert Porsha about this man, but Porsha wanted to do what she wanted to do because she's a hopeless romantic. But I don't fault that woman for wanting to get out their marriage, okay? Plenty of women would have did what they need to do. I don't know what the hell Peter talking about, some family value. For me, I feel like she ain't had no kids with that man, just like you ain't had no kids with Cynthia. So you was able to get out of your marriage with Cynthia, so I see no issue with Miss Porsha Williams getting out of her marriage with Mr. Guabati, honey. But okay.
18 months later, you can't say I changed my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
that
the hell
means you were
can.
never in it to.
Can you calm down? Yes, you can. I mean, those are your standards. In my personal, don't be trying to have other folks live up to your standards when they're not in a relationship with you. If it ain't working out in 30 days and you want to get an annulment, then it happens. Okay, you talk about family unit. Hell, once what's his name, Chad Ocho headbutted the hell out of Evelyn. Do you think that she stayed? No, she did not. She got the hell out of Dodge. So if it does not fit, you must quit. In my personal, quit the damn marriage and get the hell on.
To begin with, I don't believe people should get married.
Well, that's and
2 years later.
It did 2 years later.
For women out there in America, if you
So, yeah, we got to Porsha and what she had to say to him. But that's what's going on with Peter and Porsha. And y'all let me know your thoughts about what Peter had to say as far as family values and her getting a divorce. Because actually, let me go to what he said on that post real quick. He says, yo, when does it get better for Miss Porsha W? She can't get a break. She needs a better PR person. And I know you're not talking about a better PR person. You need a whole lot of better other things. Okay, you need a better finance person. Somebody else overlooking your finances, because you probably wouldn't have found yourself caught up in the situation that you was in. And you talking about some getting killed on a national platform like this isn't good. What? When is his time coming? Scoot back, sir. Scoot back. Just please go away from us with this. But anywho, that's what's going on with Peter. You guys can leave your thoughts and comments down below. Now, in the meantime, in between time, I want to get into Brittany Eady just a little bit before we get into what Shamea had to say about Brittany Eady and everything. So, of course, they had their premiere party at one point, and Brit Eady was interviewed by Entertainment Tonight. And this is what Brit had to say. Let us slide over here and get into Brittany, because she wants everybody to give her a chance. Y'all know the incident that took place between her and Kenya resulted in Kenya being put on time out, but Brit being put full time in. All right, let's hear what she has to say.
Darby is in the building. The Real Housewives of Atlanta is here. Brit Eady, what a roller coaster this experience has been for you. Not the ride I think you thought you signed up for. How are you feeling about the world getting a window into everything you lived the last year?
Now, I will say it's definitely been a roller coaster. I wasn't expecting all of the twists and turns this season, but I think after watching the show, people are going to get a better understanding of who Brit Eady is. And I feel like everybody wants to prejudge. And let's just go through the process and know that I feel like at the end, everybody will see me come out on top.
Well, you're here. Someone else isn't. So I think that says a lot. There is going to be an episode that people are waiting for. What do you want them to keep in mind as we kind of barrel toward that and then in the aftermath of that?
I think the hardest part is because I am a newcomer to the Housewives, it's very easy for people to just want to be on the same side as, OG cast members. And I think I really want people to really give me a chance. And that's important for fans to really get to know the real me, not just what, people see in a couple episodes.
Well, your personality is on display from minute one on screen. You have the line of the premiere for me, which is, as an insurance agent, I'm always going to the flyest and sexiest events. Now, what in the world does insurance have to do with the flyest and sexiest events?
Well, in Atlanta, it's all about luxury lifestyles. I'm going to Rolls Royce's events, Lamborghini, Maserati. So being an agent, people don't realize that it's quite glamorous that people wouldn't expect.
Okay, because on Bravo, our resident insurance agent is Vicky Gunvalson, which is a little bit different than.
Different. Yeah, in Atlanta, it's known for the city of entertainment, acting. So easily, we've got a lot of celebrities in Atlanta, and I just so happen to be like the Olivia Pope of insurance.
Okay, mic drop moment there. All right, now you come into this circle via Kelly and Shamea. Those two have changed up on you. They just said that you are their least favorite member of this cast after filming. So what happens there? And do you pay back? What do you got to say to them?
You know what? Me being the least favorite is interesting because I used to be their favorite. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens through the season, but everybody's hands aren't as clean as they want us to think that they are.
Okay.
Now, it's date night for you tonight. Your man is here. We're going to watch your kind of family planning conversation journey on this season. Is there any news to share?
I don't want to give away too much, but I think everybody's going to really enjoy our dynamic.
The Barbie.
Are we? So that's Brit Eady, guys. Interesting because I feel like that's like 3 people. Kenya not rocking with you. Kelly not rocking with you. I feel like that says a lot if you came into the season with somebody that you guys were posting saying best friends. And then now you guys have completely switched up and that person is closer to Shamea, and Shamea don't rock with you. So I feel like that's like 3 people and ain't no telling how many more. So I don't know. I am willing to give Brit a chance. I'm not going to rule it out just yet. I do understand what took place between her and Kenya, and I am so here for Kenya. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to give her a little piece of a chance, just a little bit, to let her change my mind more. But I will say there were things in that first episode that I just had to call Brit out about that's not going to make sense later in the season. So it is looking bad for her, in my opinion, but I'm still going to be open-minded. And for the people wondering what I'm referring to, if you did not see my review, let me say this, okay? There's a time in episode 1 where Brit Eady highlights the fact that she was in men's magazines and things like that when she was a teen. And then later on, we hear in the previews a soundbite or whatnot from Britney where she says, now I have to talk to my mom about sucking Zick. And because you have to talk to your mom about that, that's interesting considering the fact that I would assume that your mother was very well aware about you being in these men's magazines and stuff as a teenager. So it was just things that's not really making sense. I do feel like after the Kenya incident, Miss Brit may position herself to be more of a victim than what she may really be. And I don't know. That's what I'm thinking in this moment, but I'm willing to watch to see if she changes my mind on that. So y'all let me know if you're going to give Brit a chance. As we go on and move on, and I have to shout out to the Bravo Shade Room because we're going to be using a lot of their content over here today. So Brit makes this post and she says, when the hate don't work, they start telling lies. They on a hashtag Brit Press Tour coming to a city near you. This is shade to Shamea, 1000%. This is shade to Shamea. Shamea has definitely been doing quite a few interviews. Do you hear me? Girl, I think she did virtual reality. She's done Way Up with Angela Yee. She's done Entertainment Tonight. She's done the Big Tigger Show. She's done another podcast. She did something with her makeup artist, Tay. Like Miss Ma'am, she even did a video together with Kelly. Shamea has been doing a lot of interviews. I feel like Shamea's been doing more interviews than I've seen Porsha do lately. I've only really seen Porsha do 2, I believe, and maybe she's had a total of 3 interviews that Porsha has done. But Shamea has been bopping all over the place. So this is definitely shade to Shamea, because Shamea has had some things to say when it comes to Brit Eady. You know, at one point, her and Kelly did an interview together, and they asked, who's your least favorite? As you heard that being mentioned in the previous video. And of course, it's Brit Eady. They started out liking her, but we're learning that Brit may have said some things about Shamea, baby. And let me tell y'all something, bravo. Y'all love trying to edit things out, but if you could please leave that portion in for us, please, so that everything can make sense at a later time, we would greatly appreciate that. But that's what Shamea said, and there's more, so I want us to get into what she has to say. First, we're going to get into her talking about Brit Eady and Kenya Moore. Then we'll get into what Shamea kind of alleges Brit said about her child. Just like hints at that for a bit.
Fans got to know Brit probably in a way she did not want to get known with the news that came out with everything that went down with Kenya.
So who is this hoe?
Brit Eady is her name.
It couldn't go any lower.
She thinks this is okay.
That was Kenya's choice to twirl on down to hell.
I don't think she came back out.
What do you want everyone to keep in mind as we head toward that episode and kind of the fallout from it?
You know, I did think that Kenya went too far with what she did. But at the end of the day, even with Brit, like, I just, if God can forgive us, why can't I? I have a forgiving heart. I have an open heart to anybody that, you know, feels the same, you know, and I just hope that we can all move forward in a very peaceful, harmonious, loving way.
So do you see a world where Kenya could re-enter this group?
I would be here for Kenya re-entering this group, absolutely. Kenya's added so much to the franchise. I would love for her to twirl her little fine self back on over here, absolutely.
We, of course...
I know people cannot stand Kenya. I get it. I understand. I used to be y'all. I used to not like this woman at all. And that changed for me. I do like Kenya. Kenya funny. I love her shade. I love her little laugh, okay, when she laughing in your face and different stuff. Like, I like the shade she kind of threw at Porsha, you know, when she was talking to Shamea about Dennis and the song that she tried to drop or whatever. And I just would love to have had Kenya more in this first episode, especially in a confessional, because I feel like Cynthia didn't even give us a whole lot, but y'all gave her a confessional. Like, come on now. So I feel like, okay, damn, she had a punishment. All right, you sat her down. Okay, it's been about more than 6 months. Okay, y'all sat her down. Y'all could have called that lady back and asked her to do a few confessionals. Y'all really trying to sock it to her. Y'all really trying to sock it to her. And it's really messed up because Shamea kind of vindicates Kenya at one point when I don't know if I was watching the Kandi Burruss sit down that she did, or if it was a interview over on her radio show when they were talking about it. But basically, she does admit that Brit did say something to Kenya. She did what she... No, I'm sorry. I think it was Porsha. I think Porsha may have confirmed it, actually. It was one of the two where they confirmed that Brit said and or did something, as Kenya stated the girl did, and so Kenya went and got gutter with it. So for productions to have come back and say that pretty much Kenya was lying, that there was nothing found that Brit ever did X, Y, and Z, it's like y'all really trying to sock it to that lady and trying to make it seem like what she did to Brit was just like not retaliation. Granted, the retaliation went overboard from what it sounds like, because all of the ladies seem to be saying the same, that they're not supportive of Kenya's actions because she did take it far, but it was a reaction to a action. And did y'all sit Brit down for a few episodes? But anywho, girl, let's get into what Shamea has to say more about Brit. So let's listen to this.
Would you say you are closest to in the circle?
I would say Kelly.
Okay.
Kelly, I love Kelly.
I was going to say, her cookbook is sitting out over there. Is that always sitting there, or you put it out just for today? Okay.
Always sitting there, and I always use her 24K Nana Chicken and Waffle syrup. That was a free endorsement for you, girl.
On the flip side, is there anybody that you learned you could not trust in this circle?
Yes, unfortunately, I came into the circle liking Brit Eady, and now I'm just not a fan of hers at all.
Okay, yeah, because you and Kelly just went on the radio and said, that's our least favorite person in our group right now. What happens there to cause that switch?
Well, honestly, it's unfortunate because initially we were all really cool. And I think when she and Kelly and Brit had a little rift in their friendship, she kind of turned on me. And I'm like, I don't have a dog in the fight. I like you both the same. And then it was all this like, and you, and I'm like, what did I do? I'm just.
Her energy did not match
the
situation.
Yeah, and then she, you know, I feel like kids are off limits. She just kind of went there, and you'll see it later in the season. I mean, she went there about my youngest, Shiloh, and that's a really sensitive spot for me. So I just felt like, you know, I don't want to be associated. I don't want to be around, and it was too much for me.
The fact, I don't know what she could have said about her daughter, and maybe she could have said something that wasn't as serious to some of us. Then Shamea could have really blew it out of proportion potentially. Or what I really want to believe is what Shamea is saying. She said some SHI about this lady child that she should have never said or brought up. And the fact that you would take it that far, again, makes me feel like Kenya was not lying. Like, you pushed it to the limit, and Kenya pushed it further to the limit. Brittany. When I say this doesn't really look good, but I'm still open-minded, guys. It's only one episode, okay? They probably gonna give us about 15, 16. Ain't no telling how many episodes we're gonna get. So I'm sure it's a lot to come. All right. But yeah.
The line. Okay.
To me.
Who would you say?
She crossed the line. That's what Shamea says. So y'all let me know. Because you know we always say, keep the kids out of it. Keep the kids out of the BS. Why would you need to mention anything about her kid? But I don't know what she could have possibly said about an innocent baby. I don't know. But speaking of Shamea's daughter, she does have another interview where she sits down with her makeup artist, Tay. And they talk about the criticism that she's gotten about, I guess, like being out and about while her child is in the NICU and things. And so, you know, it's something that's very emotional for her. And I want us to just check out what Shamea had to say. All right.
Being out or working, because a lot of your work looks like it's out, right? So
yeah. Oh, yeah. So
like,
they she's partying. She's turning up.
Partying. She's not even at the hospital with her baby. Like, they wanted you to be with your baby 24/7.
For sure. Yeah, none of those people, as much as I love them, I've never had anybody walk up to me in person and be like, you should have been out. They're all like, you're my favorite. I love you so much. They're not negative. And there's always going to be those few that are just miserable, telling you how to parent and care for your healthy or sick child. And they're not even caring for their own damn child, you know, or they don't even. Moms are superheroes.
We are.
And
can you say it again? Say it for the people in the back. Moms are superheroes.
We wear so many hats.
We do.
And while you're thinking I should sit by the bedside the whole time, I have a 4-year-old that is missing me and struggling in school. And at least this one doesn't have a clue. She's like, okay, girl, like, I don't know if you're here by my bedside or not. This 4-year-old does.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't pick me up from school. Daddy did. But you're supposed to pick me up and he's supposed to drop me off. Oh, yeah, she's very, very. So, you know, I found myself like, you know what? I got to figure out a way to balance this.
Yes.
It got to the point where I was doing, when she got moved to PICU and they increased the age, because PICU is when you get discharged, so they say you've been exposed to outside germs. They bring you back in. Now you go to PICU, still ICU, but it's like, you know, another level. NICU is like nobody from the outside.
Okay.
So PICU, I would bring my daughter in, Shiloh. I'd bring Shia in the evenings after she get out of school, and we would hang out at the hospital. Aww. And I would give her showers in the hospital room. Aww. And, like, you know, put her pajamas on, and then her and her dad would go home, and I would sleep at the hospital.
That's
with
a
Shia.
lot.
I would get up at, like, around 4:30, and it was a cycle, a repeat.
It's okay.
So,
yeah, I got you.
You know, a lot of times, you know, I think God gives you strength, you know, to just, to live another day, to fight for your baby. You know, it's not easy. So when Kandi would text me or Porsha or whoever would be like, let's go grab a drink, I needed that, you know?
Man.
Just that time, just for myself. Because you
Girl.
spread yourself if you're not at work, then you with
Yeah.
your 4-year-old, you with your newborn. And even today, even like for example, a day for me, grab Shiloh, took her to her speech appointment. She has like at least 5 or 6 appointments a week that people don't know about.
Wow.
And I have taken on speech. She has speech, she has OT, she has PT, physical therapy. She sees a GI specialist for the G-tube.
The criticism about being
That
out
hurts my
or
feelings.
working.
That hurts my feelings. And then, that's a lot. I'm glad that she does have some of the support that she does have. I do question. I'm glad that we're going to be able to see this journey of Shamea. I do wonder how Portia's going to show up for her this season, as she continues to deal with the health of her baby girl. I really feel bad for her because a lot of times people on the outside, I mean, they just don't know, what's going on in somebody else's life, what they dealing with. I mean, you may have a small glimpse, but you really don't damn know. And then be over there on that lady page just saying this, that. I mean, people gonna say what they want. People gonna always talk. I get that, but it's more so when y'all go over to her page or make sure that they directly know. Let me go over here and let you know how bad of a mom you are. How you're. It's like, bro, chill, okay. I definitely wonder how the show is going to potentially affect her as well, and it might be some type of outlet for her, you know what I'm saying? Now that she has the show, she's able to expose people to her life and what's been going on with her daughter, and maybe people will have a bit more sympathy and stuff. But I don't know, people always be like that though. If they see you out partying more than you are with your kids, knowing that you probably was with your child all damn day, you just ain't photographed that, you ain't send no video of that, you just showing you out and about having a good time. Right? That's probably gonna be the post that get the likes versus the post of you being with your kid. But anywho, y'all done sat up there and broke my girl Shamea down just a little piece. So don't be sliding over there with no criticism and stuff. That lady got a whole lot of stuff going on. She's trying to balance it all. But I'm looking forward to learning more about her daughter's health conditions and things. But leave your thoughts and stuff down below about that. Let us go ahead and hop into more because, like I said, it's giving Shamea. Because Shamea also got some things to say about Drew. So y'all know Portia's upset with Drew for filming with her baby daddy, Dennis. And I feel like now I'm starting to get it just a little bit. I think that Porsha wanted to use Dennis as her storyline. And if Drew is using him as her storyline, then maybe it's going to compromise Portia's storyline just a bit. And being that her storyline is already compromised with the fact that she can't film in the home or with the Rolls Royce, then maybe that's a problem for Porsha. So it's like, girl, you put me in jeopardy financially because if I don't live up to this contract that was given, then girl, you affected my bag potentially. I don't know. We'll see more on the upcoming episode, but that's what Porsha said as far as her feeling a way about the filming. But initially, I really felt like, listen, I think that you may think that they got something going on, even though Porsha said she could care less, right? But I mean, hey, I know Shamea got something to say about it, and I want us to hear what Miss Shamea got to say about all of that. Okay, so let's get into it.
Should not be entertaining any type of situation and then calling him her angel. Girl, what are you doing?
I think that Drew can be very entertaining, but some of her decision making to me is questionable.
Yeah, it's a little poor.
The situation with Dennis.
Why?
How many dudes doing music?
I mean, we're in Atlanta. Brian Michael Cox, Jermaine Dupri, RL, who did my music. Atlanta is notorious for good music. Why would you pick Dennis?
Yeah.
Of all the people, and this is your friend's ex. That's nasty to me. Drew should not.
So when you say that's nasty, Shamea, that makes me think that y'all are thinking that Drew could be messing with Dennis. And also, I feel like I feel like Drew could potentially be working with Dennis because Dennis is investing into her versus other people like Brian Michael Cox and like RL. She might have to pay them people. And she might not have a coin to pay them right now because she got other stuff going on and she's going through a divorce, potentially. Okay, I'm trying to have Drew back just a little piece, okay? So it could be that, whereas Dennis approached her also, nah, I got you, sis. Like, nah, it's all good. I got you. I'll look out over here. I got you there. I'll pay for it. Don't worry about it. But keep in mind, I refuse to believe Dennis pushing out all this cash, paying for stuff for Drew without expecting something in return at some point if he ain't trying to, if he ain't already got it, just like me. Okay? At some point, it's going to be time to, okay, give up a little something. So, yeah. I feel like he ain't doing all of that for nothing. Not just so he could get a kickback or some money to take care of his daughter, because he doing that anyway, because that's just how he is. So I don't know, Miss Drew, girl. It may be giving a little piece of nasty, and maybe I was right from the beginning when I was thinking that Porsha thinks they're fooling around. So for Shamea to say that's nasty, I'm like, is it nasty for somebody to work with somebody else's ex? Like, I feel like that's common in the music industry. It's really not as big as we may think, right? But yeah, I don't know, Drew. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts about that, okay? Drew, girl, don't tell. No, please. I mean, you was calling him your angel. You was he's been my saving grace through all of this. I guess Dennis has shown up to be more to you than what Ralph has. And I'm just like, please don't tell me. Please don't tell me y'all went down there. I refuse. Now, work with Dennis. Don't work. Don't work with Dennis. You feel what I'm saying, girl? I can't. Let's keep going, ma'am. Let us keep going. Because I want to hear what Shamea got to say about Miss Phaedra Parks. So let us check out what she got to say about these.
Phaedra comes in near the end of the season, but snags a peach nonetheless.
Right. I'm like, oh, okay.
How did you feel about Frick and Frack having their reunion, and did Phaedra coming in then switch up the dynamics on all of you?
You know, I'm a girl's girl. I'm here for it. If Frick and Frack is what Porsha needs or Phaedra needs, I support it. There's enough of Shamea to go around. I like to share my friendship amongst new people and old people. Like, the more the merrier, you know. I mean, I was shocked when she came back, but welcome. She came with some good energy. Her energy wasn't like it was when she and I last, worked together. So I welcome it. Like I said, you over it, I'm over it. Okay, cool. You know, you forgive, but you don't forget.
Don't forget. Do you feel like Phaedra has changed for the better?
I hope she has. I mean, again, she came in at the very end of the season, so I can't really speak too much. But yeah, I feel like she came in with a new, fun, inviting and warm energy. So I'm gonna meet you where you are. I'm gonna match your vibe. If you are giving me the good vibes, I'm gonna give you the good vibes and good energy. And until you do different, then we'll just operate in that.
All right. I think she was ready to come running out of Married to Medicine and get back on the mothership. Because those girls gave her.
I know. Oh my goodness. But hey.
Phaedra comes.
All right. And so that's what she said, but that's not all. So let us hear what she told Angela Yee about Phaedra too.
To come up like when Phaedra was on there and she tried to imply that you and Kandi were more than just platonic friends. For sure. But Kandi's not on this season. I know you missed that.
Yeah, I do. Kandi's amazing, and she really is a good friend. So it would have been incredible to have both of us on at the same time. Tauruses, what I mean,
and both outspoken,
both love music and all the things. So I'm like, you would pick this season to not come back,
right? Like why would you do that to me? But that's probably part of why they needed you too.
I don't know, because I'm like, we could have both just killed it. But hey, I mean, I'm happy to be back. But I honestly hated that. That was a very nasty rumor. But it goes to show that, like, what the devil means for bad, God means for good. And nobody can, take away what's in his plan and his will for you. And at that time, I was engaged to my husband. And if he wasn't as secure and just strong as he is, and if our unit had not been strong, it could have destroyed our what that was a nasty. And then it was like, you saw it on camera on the show, like them in a circle at the table talking about it. That really hurt, because I was like, why would you? That's such a nasty, ugly thing to say. Now, I ain't gonna lie and say, I mean, my husband know he didn't marry a virgin, but like, once I have my first lesbian experience, let me be the one to talk about it.
Right.
Let me
I ain't got there yet.
Yeah, let him be there for it.
Let him be. Right. Can we add him into the mix? Get a little situation going.
I'm sure it's going to come.
Nah, Shamea, don't be mad at me, girl. I'm about to ask, when you said you're not there yet, are you saying you're not there yet as in you haven't had a lesbian experience, or were you saying you're not there yet to want to talk about it type thing? I don't know. Just wondering. But Phaedra, this is the SHI right here, ma'am, in addition to other things, so that we have to clock you on. So when you say that Married to Medicine wives were giving like mean girl energy, as if you haven't, we have to clock you on that, because although you were right, they were giving mean girl vibes. However, you've done the same thing, and I think that was very mean girl of you to share that information. You know what I'm saying? Whether it happened or it didn't happen, it actually sounds like Phaedra at the time was speaking from a place of likely jealousy, because her and Kandi weren't as close as they used to be. But girl, you ain't have to do all of that. You was wrong for implying that. And then maybe you may have known a little something, but I still feel like even if that is to be actual factual, I do just be feeling like that's not your place to tell that to you. To me. Okay, but whatever, girl. So that's what they got going on. That's what Shamea had to say. I'm glad that it did not ruin her relationship, and they are good. They are intact. And we're going to see how Shamea and Phaedra come back together. She's forgiven. She hasn't forgotten. And that confirms to me that an apology, I don't know if it was given. I don't think she ever received an apology for that. I think it is what it is, water under the bridge, and they just gonna continue to press forward. So we'll see the dynamic as the season progresses. But as we close out the Shamea segment, I do want us to get into her and Porsha, because she does go over to the Big Tigger show. She talks about the friendship between she and Porsha, and then she kind of touches on the media and them trying to break their friendship up and what she has to say about that. So let us check that out. All right, let's get over here. See what she's talking about.
Question that's bubbling all over the place, and I might know a thing or two about a person. Everybody want to know what's going on with you and your bestie. Are y'all still besties?
Oh, yeah. I always have love for Porsha. That's my childhood friend. I only want the best for her. And I know that she wants the best for me. So we want to have a great season. We want to have a great show. So, yeah, the love is always there, and it's always going to be there.
Did the show change any of that?
I think it's just about navigating that new space, whereas before I was just there to support her, and now me being in my own light and doing my own thing, it is different, and I'm sure on both sides, like just navigating that, like, because, in a friendship, it's like, can I talk about this? What you Googling?
Yeah. Y'all actually know, y'all actually know each other,
like,
for real.
I know her, and she knows me, so... it's just about just establishing the boundaries and the respect to keep the friendship fresh and authentic.
Okay. No struggle right there.
I think all relationships have struggle moments, but like I said, it's about how you handle it and how you move forward. And if you're a real one, and if you love that person like you do, you do move past it. Right. You do move forward.
Yeah, for sure.
You got the same energy for Drew?
Yeah, actually, for all of my castmates. But the thing is, if you got, and it's funny, you can't move forward if it's a bunch of untruths.
That's true.
You gotta, like, if we're gonna be a buck, you're gonna have to be honest about stuff. So then we can move forward. If you can't, it's like.
What?
You can't be honest. What was that? You can't be honest.
Shamea, what was that?
If you can't be real, then then we can't. It's like barking up. It's like talking to a brick wall. But I ain't got no problem with really any of our cast. I think we've had light moments of just back and forth shadiness, but nothing that's like so hurtful to where it's like it's no coming back.
All right. Question that's bubbling all over the place, and I might know a thing or two.
So let me say this, okay? Shamea, I think you gave a very interesting answer. I don't believe that you and Porsha are as close as you were. I think that you've dropped some music recently, and I don't even think that Porsha has shared anything to her page. I will double check to see. I know Kandi shared something to her page, so I do believe that there is some friction there. I do feel like the producers might have something to do with that. I'm just double checking. I'm hoping Porsha did post some. Oh, she's naive. Porsha has not posted SHI nor a motherfucking T, okay? Just showing you guys over here on Porsha's page. Porsha has not posted anything as it pertains to Shamea, all in her thing. Usually, they'll do a little promo or something like, share my bestie's thing, okay? Because, Shamea did drop a song. I do believe that it dropped on today. And let's see. I know Kandi posted it for sure because I saw that on her page. Yeah, so maybe Porsha will post it later on in the day. Just in case people may have forgotten about it or whatnot. But Shamea did drop a new song. And Miss Mama's looking good, honey. Okay. Okay, go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead. Giving a little bit of Fantasia, just a little bit. Okay. So me, in my opinion. Yeah, so she posted this, and I haven't seen Porsha post anything. So, yeah, I guess, girl, listen, friction is happening. And I also want to highlight when Shamea, I feel like as viewers of the show, a lot of us do feel like Porsha does not keep it 100%. Just in her recent interviews last week, she was called out twice for being a liar, once by Drew's sister and another by Nene Leakes herself. So, when you talk about, being honest, or whatever, if we could just, be open and be honest, then we can have a friendship as it pertains to Drew. Then if that's how you feel and you feel like Drew doesn't keep it a buck, then that would be the same for Porsha, right? I think that what gets us tied up, and more so you in this situation, is the fact that you're still holding on to the history of y'all being friends since high school, junior high school, elementary, childhood, okay? And I think that has you in a chokehold just a bit. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't, but sometimes I do feel like we overstay our welcome in situations because of history. When it's not about the length of time, you need to look at what all took place during that time and just make it make sense, because who you were then over that time frame, you're not anymore. And if that person doesn't necessarily fit, it's okay. Doesn't mean y'all won't come back together at a later time. It's just in this moment, it's not fitting. But I do understand her wanting to save face for the friendship, but they're not how they were. They're not cool. They haven't been cool for some time. I do believe it's been at least a year. They haven't been cool like that for real. But hopefully they figure it out, because honestly, I don't want to see Shamea always going to bat for her bestie. Like, your bestie can hold her own. But then at the same time, I don't want to see a friendship ruined, because it makes me think a little bit of Quad and Mariah for some reason. And I hate the fact that friendship ended up breaking down at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And it could have just been some miscommunication. And could be the same thing over here. I think the producers are definitely involved. I think that Shamea now has a job to do, and some of those things may be to ask Porsha the hard questions or whatever the case is, whatever, advisement she may get from the producers. And whereas Porsha is like, go away from me with this, because I'm not trying to deal with that SHI. So I don't know. And then it could be, you know me better than that. Why would you dare? I don't know. So y'all leave me your thoughts about that, the situation between Porsha and Shamea. But I'm not advocating. I don't want to really see their friendship break up. I just want to see Shamea let Porsha handle her own battles from time to time. But also, I want us to get into Shamea. I believe this is where she's gonna talk about, I guess, the media trying to come in between their friendship or something like that. So let's hear about that.
Do you think, since the trailers have been released, do you think the media is pitting you and Porsha against each other? Because again, Porsha initially came in like she's supposed to be the glue, like getting you ladies together. But now you're kind of moving into the role of being the glue.
Well, I don't know that she came in like she was supposed to be the glue. I think she's been off for a few seasons. So I think she was just coming back, just period. And she is a household name, and she has been on the show for a number of years. So the respect is there.
Yeah,
the love is there from fans. Like, of course she's going to be the front and center, the center peach, like naturally. Because, you think Housewives, you think Porsha, you think
that's true.
A bunch of the other veterans in the game. And it's only right to come in as a new peach holder, respecting them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I know my role. That's like me coming here on your morning show. There's a level of respect. I might want to do this, but if it's your show at the end of the day, if you say, we going red, and I say I like yellow, and you say red, I'm going to have to go red. So, hey, it is what it is. I'm just happy to be in that number.
Oh, no,
I'm
that's
happy
right.
to be here. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be able to showcase my life, and in that way,
Thank you, Elma.
Yeah.
Do you?
Now, I will say I understand where Shamea is totally coming from. Like, she's stepping onto a platform that's Porsha's, that's typically Porsha's. But I will say, unfortunately, I think the tide is turning just a bit. The tide is turning. I think Shamea knows that. But out of respect for Porsha and the friendship and just who Porsha is to Real Housewives of Atlanta, she had to make sure she answered that question as properly as she can, and I think that she did right. But I also feel like Shamea is very aware of what's happening. Because to me, I feel like that it's giving a new woman in town, just a little bit. Okay, when we think about Housewives and what we want them to embody, I think Shamea got all of that. In my personal, Porsha got that too. However, Porsha was not able to present certain parts of her life this season. And like I told y'all when I did my review, I said, the first portion when they focused on Porsha, it was giving, okay, let's go ahead and do this for her. Okay, cool. Now that we got that out the way, it was really giving here, damn, here is what it was giving. Damn, here you go. Damn. And let's move on. That's just a little bit, but we'll see how that's going to play out for the people as the season continues to progress. But it seems like they may have a new front runner in town. Leave your thoughts and comments down below, honey. I just wanted to come, have a little chat about Shamea. You guys can leave your thoughts down below. Of course, I'm Jami, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone